Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. And I'm back, and I'm going to do a little bit of a reveal and opening. I haven't looked at these actual figures or cards yet, but this is it now. You've got the Retro Collection Mandalorian line. Just before I get it open, I will say that I am more of a fan of the idea of them bringing out original trilogy stuff on the retro cards. But then, hey-ho, they're doing this. And just know what? What really bothers me is that there's a lot of this stuff sat on shelves in Asda, so that tells me that people don't want to buy it. But anyway, let's have a look at it now. So I've got the box just to the left of me here, and let's bring them out one by one. And there you go. I mean, as a carded collector, this, has got a kind of tiny appeal to me, because I have now 3 versions of this. I have the, the carbonized one of this guy, and I have that next to the regular carded one, which I think came with the, what do you call it now? Navarro playset there. And now I have this guy. So that's 3 variants in a row, and I'm quite interested in, especially in my carded room. We're not in my carded room right now, we're in my loose room if you're new to my channel, but having 3 in a row like that, which would be nice. What have we got left here now? I apologise, I didn't show you the back of the previous card, but it won't look any different to that. So could we just look at that one back now, and then that'll be it? Because I know a lot of people do get upset when I don't show them the backs of the cards. This is the Armourer. It's a lovely card back in itself, but here we are. Let's have a look at the. I'll go in closer to the figures maybe again in a minute later, but there you go. It's a retro collection Armourer. I really do think that this is just a waste of time. I'm not a fan of the retros done for these modern things, modern properties, and even modern depictions of them. This is my Mandalorian shelf here. What we're doing making retros of this, I don't know. I think we should be focusing on the retro collection for stuff that used to be like that. For example, what's it called now? Return of the Jedi and stuff like that, or characters from that era. But what really concerns me the most is this stuff is peg warming in Asda right now. Not this exact wave, but the other stuff. No one wants to buy it. There's about 10 Queels in my local Asda. But anyway, this does look good. I like that. I do like the look of that figure. That's hitting me more than any of the retro collection figure has to date. And that's because it is obviously Boba Fett, but the most iconic vintage figure of all is Boba Fett. And that is a kick-ass figure. That it's a great fusion. That it's using parts or aspects of a figure that means the most to most people. And there he is, as seen in what was a really successful series, obviously Mandalorian Season 2. I really enjoyed that. Great. And then next we have, it's a nice looking figure, that. Bo-Katan. Just to me, that's a waste of a bubble and plastic. We are screaming out for the what are they called now? The 96 to be completed, and they're tightening the noose on, closing down bubbles and card backs. And here they are now. This is a bubble and a card used for something that is not as important, in my opinion, as other things. Finish the first 12, finish the 96, get the original trilogy done, and there's this risk of it all stopping, and then in the meantime they've put their energy and resources into this stuff, but still, there you are. And then there's this. Now this is crazy. What I'm about to tell you now is a total contradiction to what I've said before, but they've obviously done this card back in the vintage collection. Here he is in retro form. But what are they doing? What are Hasbro doing? They have not made this, of all characters, in carbonized form. And I never thought I would say, please make a carbonized figure, but that is the one they need to do. I'll go and get him, hang on. All right, here we go now. This is what I mean. This might give you a little bit of a better context as to what I'm on about. And again, this is quite nice, the fact that you've now got a chance to have 2 variants on if you're a carded collector like I am, as well as being loose. You can have 2 side by side, a little bit of variancy. But this is the thing about this figure here. They've carbonized every figure under the sun. They've carbonized the Armourer, they've carbonized this fella, they've even carbonized Moff Gideon, for whatever reason they wanted to do that. But this, of all figures, is the one they needed to carbonize, because look at it. It's dull as dishwater. The best figure they did for Mandalorian was the one with the weathering on it, and I don't know why that is. I think it's because the weathering... I'll just grab that figure for you. It might just accentuate the silver paint a bit more when you've got blotches of weathering and scars and battle damage and burns, whatever. I think that's more striking a figure than that. But if you carbonize this figure, it would be better. And that's the one figure out of all of them that they haven't carbonized. But that's just the way it is, isn't it? It's crazy, I think, but still. And then you've got a bit of a hole there. You've got 2 out of a set of a potential 3. You know, there's certain trios now of figures. Moff Gideon's a trio because you've got carbonized, vintage, and retro. He's a trio. You've got the Remnant Stormtroopers a trio. I hope you know what I'm on about. But yeah, the bottom line is that, you know, I never thought I would say it, but please could you give us another carbonized figure, Hasbro? You know, even though I think they're a waste of time. Although it's not for them because they're making a lot of money out of that, you know what I mean? Wallies like me are buying it. Crazy. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There must be another one in here. Indeed there is. And it is, you know, Ahsoka Tano. Since I've just had her out in my other review, if you want to look at that, the overview of Wave 40, you've now got 2 of each kind there, which I do like that. I like the variancy factor, having multiples in a row, and that really does look quite nice together. I'm going to do a video on stickers actually soon. I'm going to talk about that. All the different types of stickers we've had in not only retro but vintage collection. What's your favourite? Do they look good? Who likes them? Who doesn't? Who peels them off? Personally, I'm a keeper honor of stickers. Don't mind them. But these are, granted, very big on the retro collection. As an overall observation now, if I was running Hasbro, I wouldn't have put them on. Or if I did, I would have made it a lot smaller than that. Way smaller. Also, this white weathering, it's been open for discussion for a long time. You know, that I wouldn't have put on either. Now, it's funny that these two match. They're supposed to all be different now. Oh, hang on a minute. No, they are different. Obviously, it's been done by computer. That's got that there. That doesn't. These two kind of match. That marking there matches that one. But they've made it so that there's variants, you know, which is good. I wonder how many variants there are of that. Maybe they're all, yeah, done like that anyway. Whatever. As ever, I'm waffling a bit more now, so I'll just give you a little bit of a final overview of the whole wave. I don't know, man. These are not figures I'm going to have loose. They're only really bound for my carded room. I like to have figures, as you saw, I've got shelves of figures in here, depicting the most realistic interpretation of a character. Tell a story on my shelves, you know, I've got things in chronological order, and that's just the way it is, you know. I just think that these just have no place in my type of collection anyway, but still, if you are a vintage collector, a vintage mock collector, and you've got some stuff loose, then I can understand why you'd want them to add to your collection. And to some extent, you see I've got the Tantive 4 over there. I have admired people who've put in there, you know, a vintage Leia and vintage Stormtroopers. They look pretty cool in that kind of setting, but that's because that is that era of Star Wars, isn't it? This other stuff, this is modern property, and I just can't wrap my head around it why they'd want to, other than the fact that I know that they're obviously making money, although again, I'm repeating myself here, these are not selling in Asda's. So I don't know, you let me know the maths. I don't know the official sales data, so only time will tell. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I have been only One Kenobi. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, tap the notification bell as well. I usually upload at 8 PM UK time, which is 3 PM US ET. But anyway, enough for today. This has been only One Kenobi, only one, out.